passing through a smoke ring. Honey flows into the bloodstream. They don't understand what we're made of. Ways of love.
Probably my first favorite band was 9 Inch Nails. Like there's a music video for Wish where they were inside of a cage and people were crowded around the cage and yelling at them. And I thought that was kind of intense and in a kind of like antagonistic sort of way. I also thought that Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs was kind of cool in an awful way. But in a performance kind of way, I thought that was kind of cool.
Hi, I'm Scott Yoder, and you're watching Band in Seattle on KSTW.
Tonight on Band in Seattle, psychedelic songwriter Scott Yoder, recorded live at Victory Studios. Band in Seattle, uncover the music that moves you.
Let me show you where I live.
Well, where are they now? Are you too blind to see? You're right in front of me. Who could be the one to tell you how the story?
So this is my studio, this is where I hang out, this is where I write my songs and practice, and this is where I live.
They seem strange to see me singing out, but my words are rearranged as you ask, where are they now? Where are they now?
Where are they now? It's kind of like just from the perspective of being a musician or like somebody that's like still has something to say. I mean, I initially wrote it just solo acoustic, kind of unaccompanied song, and it always felt very good to begin a set that way, especially being on my own.
But I know it may seem strange to see me singing out, but my words are rearranged when you ask, where are they now? Where are they now?
It's like I wanted to like merge the engagement that I really felt like having more personal and kind of more intentional songs, and merge that with having, you know, the sonic possibilities of musicians that I really like a lot. It's kind of like a greatest hits of people that I've really liked playing with.
Hi, I'm Brent Smerhall, and I play guitar for the Scott Yoder Band. When I'm not playing guitar for Scott, I'm DJing around Seattle and selling records to the kids.
Not drugs, but
They're kind of like drugs.
Well, where are they now?
I met Scott about 6 or so years ago when I was working as a promoter in Chicago.
It was pretty much like DIY type shows, some like bars and things like that. Almost always a bit of a fish out of the water, like being on a bill with other full bands. In some ways reaffirmed like how I wanted, I like doing this, but I truly like being able to reconnect with other musicians and play with people instead of just kind of hide with people.
Come on back to my side. Are you satisfied with your pride? I know it ain't easy, but me you can confide. Caught in this ribbon cage as it tangles its way through our lives.
of Hate was probably one of the first songs I wrote explicitly for solo type playing. It's kind of like a bit of a breakup song. Either way, like either as a band breaking up or a relationship breaking up. It's probably been somewhere else, but it's always cool to write a song with the melody in your head before, instead of like coming up with it on the guitar, you know? So that was satisfying to like actually get a song out of your head.
Caught in this ribbon of hate as it tangles its way through our lives. Can't break this ribbon of hate and it's tangled its way through our young and innocent lives. Thank you.
There's probably somebody out there that knows what the beat is called, but my education on a lot of beats are just settings on a Casio keyboard.
When we come back, we'll learn a lot more about Scott Yoder.
Back to the story, it started off as kind of just like a voice memo.
Back to the story, back to your love, back to the story of love, sweet love, back to the way you felt all along.
Kind of just thought of as like, I think of voice memo songs as like these like scruffy kind of orphan children that didn't really get the guidance that they needed at a certain age, and I don't want to throw them away. I don't want to let them down. I want to bring the life out of them.
To the way you feel all along, back to the story. Hey!
We were able to come up with something that was like a rhythm that I can't put my finger on, that was very satisfying in a lot of ways, and was able to kind of, you know, contrast to like where it started off as like kind of like a lonesome country song into like, there's probably somebody out there that knows what the beat is called, but my education on a lot of beats are just settings on a Casio keyboard. Yeah, I like saxophone. I like a lot of, like, I like that as a lead. I think that's an interesting sound. It can like really almost kind of replicate a guitar sound in some ways, but it's also, it just fits, I think, with where I'm at right now.
Hi, my name's Andy Crane. I play keyboard and saxophone for the Scott Yoder Band. We met Scotty, through his old band called The Pharmacy. I like Scott's music because it's like glam folk.
I don't always play with Andy, but Andy is really cool to have. He, he's actually is a music teacher, and he has like that same kind of pedigree that it's so natural to him.
You felt all along. Back to the story. Hey!
My name is Sean R. I play bass with Scott Yoder. Scotty's a great storyteller, and he's a very gentle human being. Each song has a way of taking you into a different world.
It's really difficult. I would recommend just coming to see it, to be honest, or watching it on the internet, or taking a flight and watching it now.
Where does she go? We meet her. Where does she go? In the night. Feel I was born right on your grave, and I had to get away from the stench that you left on my soul. When the people came to pray, they had nothing to say as they started to dig another hole.
Where Does She Go is probably the most fun song, and almost, I mean, it's a country song, but it's a punk song. It's like a minute and a half, a little longer, and it could be a breakup song. You don't know.
Where does she go? Wait, meet her. Where does she go? In the night.
We present ourselves in a way, as a band, we'd want to go see live. So, in a sense, we want to see a show that we would go to.
Describe Scott's performance for us.
I don't know if I can explain that.
Where does she go? Thank you very much.
Looking back in Blue, I actually wrote that half in this seat and half in that other one.
Looking back in blue, the life that we once knew.
When we come back, we'll learn a lot more about Scott Yoder.
Singing songs to strangers in a bar. They say we're on our way, but we haven't traveled very far. Singing songs to strangers in a bar. What was it that brought you out tonight? Did you know the songs we sang? Were you clapping just to be polite? Singing songs to strangers every night.
Songs to Strangers, I probably wrote just one verse of that, like on a tour, or like in between tours with my old band a few years ago. That was another like lonely orphan voice memo child. And I just added a few more verses after kind of reflecting on it.
Strangers all alone. Well, what did you expect for Monday? No one ever goes. What did you expect for Friday? They're all at the other show, singing songs to strangers in that other bar.
I mean, this song like probably reminds me of, you know, when I first met Scott on the road and like, you know, seeing him perform in front of small or large audiences to like strangers.
Singing songs to strangers in a bar. They say we're on our way, though we haven't traveled very far. Singing songs to strangers in a bar. Singing songs to strangers in a bar.
Probably because, honestly, I've always been a little bit shy, generally. I think, like, socially kind of shy. And it's a bit of a way to just, like, I see performance as like a ritual where you can totally transcend that. And you know that there are certain roles that everybody has, and there's a certain kind of sanctity there where you can really just take on whatever identity you want. And audiences, I've seen audiences follow people like all the way down some very strange places that they probably hadn't planned on.
It's called Looking Back in Blue.
Yeah, Looking Back in Blue. I actually wrote that half in this seat and half in that other one.
Looking back in blue, the life that we once knew isn't very hard to shed a tear. Looking back in blue seems to see me through. The nights are getting long this time of year. Think of where you are.
I don't know, I was watching a lot of Cosmos at the time. I was kind of just thinking about, astronomy, and even though it's not a super scientific song, it has those kind of aesthetics in it. And I think those are always relatable, just the way light moves and the way days change.
Looking back in blue, it's all I seem to do. Sky is black when you look back in blue.
The show's kind of evolved around Scott and, you know, how he develops as an artist, and, you know, the rotating cast of musicians he has around him, you know, kind of shapes the performance and the journey.
Looking back in blue, it's all I seem to do. Sky is black when you look back in blue.
I initially just wanted to play with just an acoustic guitar and actually focus on having songs that were at least engaging enough with myself that I felt like could be laid bare.
The dark of heaven, photographed by satellite.
I went on a few tours where I would just play completely solo, like without a car or a van, and just take a Greyhound or trains across the country and do that as a way of kind of just reconnecting with performing, maybe. Like before I could kind of hide behind a band, hide behind the kind of like fraternity of being in a band where you're just, you know, you can just hide away in a van and have your in-jokes with your band and be a little bit like aloof in your own world with your band and sort of end up taking people for granted that way. And I guess performing completely solo would force me to not only to engage with a live audience, but to like just talk to the club promoter or like everybody involved and be a lot more present, I guess.
Daylight passing through a smoke ring. Honey flows into the bloodstream. They don't understand what we're made of. Ways of love. Ways of love. Ways of love. La, 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 la.
Where I'm at right now, I just like playing to different people and like getting a different reaction out of people. That's my lifestyle. I want to record and tour. That's all I really feel comfortable doing at this point.
And what we're made of. Ways of love. Ways of love.
It's kind of why I live in a place like this, where I usually feel a little bit dehumanized, which is always kind of a good thing. It's good to like keep things in check, but that's about it as far as I can go.
To uncover more of the music that moved you tonight, go to bandinseattle.com, where you can learn more about Scott Yoder and watch his full concert.